Collecting data from athletes is always difficult. They're fast. They move around in very complicated movement patterns. So we need to have very sophisticated equipment and very sophisticated sensors and some great quality high-speed video analysis. So we can get the players kitted up and we can see what effect the surface is having on their joints, on their muscles, and also on their athletic performance. How fast can they run? How quickly can they change direction? And then we can use that and we can put all that together and assess system A versus system B versus system C. And that allows us to get a good insight of when we change one parameter of the product, how that affects the athlete. So we started doing that on natural turf. Of course, we can't grow natural turf very well in the lab, so we can test natural grass in a whole range of different conditions, and then we can see how our current fields are performing. Then when we launch a new product like Pivot, we can install that product in a field as a pilot, and we can get some good measurements and some real world feedback. How is it going to react when it freezes? What's it going to react like when it's really hot outside, when it's wet, when it's cold? And we can really understand how all those different conditions, which is going to affect the turf in the real world, how that affects the players and how that affects the product. So we're making sure that it's going to be good 365, 24/7. So when we're collecting this data from these sensors, we want to see the joint angles. We want to see how quickly the angles of the lower limbs of the body are changing as they're running. We want to see basically how their gait, how their running style is being adapted for the surface. Athletes are really clever. We don't realize how clever we are. We adapt within microseconds, but we can pick that up in the data. So we can see how the force going through the ankle, through the knee, through the hip is different on different products, on different surfaces as they're doing different movements. We can put all that stuff together and we can really get a good fundamental understanding of how the product is affecting the athlete. That allows us to then use our engineering knowledge of the yarns to re-engineer the yarns to replicate what we're getting from good quality grass or to remove the need for infill. And that's really what we're trying to do to develop the next generation of system, trying to emulate good quality grass so we can look at that data and re-engineer the system.